Hey guys, Marianne here. So I am in the car again, as always before an audition, because I leave super early. And sitting in a car before an audition sucks because I'm now looking in these very unflattering mirrors. My face is broken out. I have a bunch of blemishes. My eyebrows are going crazy, even though I tweezed them yesterday. They look ridiculous. So auditioning is scary, and so I'm freaking myself out. I'm actually auditioning for a manager today, and I've never auditioned for a manager before, and this is a monologue audition, and I don't particularly care for monologues. I like the ones I have for the most part. I think I've sort of aged out of my comedic one, and it's not, neither of them are super over the top. So the comedy one isn't super funny, and the dramatic one isn't super dramatic. But I think usually they appreciate that because they don't want necessarily to have somebody screaming and crying at them. They just want to show that you can do that type of emotional depth, rather than like it's a test of whether or not you can cry instantly. But sorry, an ambulance just went by. I got here early, which is good because I ended up having to drive around for a while to find a parking meter. I had pulled over right in front of the place, and I parked, but then I realized that it was zone permit parking only. So that means I don't have the permit, so I can't park there. So that is why I leave super early, because if I hadn't had any time to spare, that would have been bad. Plus, who knows if you're gonna get caught in traffic or anything like that, because I came all the way down to Santa Monica, which is pretty far from North Hollywood. It was like a 40-minute drive, so wanted to make sure I had plenty of time, so I left at like 1:50 for my 3:30 audition. But yeah, now I'm just gonna hang out in the car, freaking out, rehearsing my monologues, hating my eyebrows. Like, what is wrong with them? Oh my god. Sorry, I'll stop. I don't want to be super negative. Sorry, car pulling up behind me. What else do I have to say? I think that's about it. So yeah, I'm auditioning for a manager, and we'll see how this goes. And I pulled up to the place, and it didn't look super much like a business place. It looked more like a residential place, but I think that's just because, oh sorry, my thumb. Hello. I think that's just because the angle I was at, there's fences and stuff, so I think when I go around to the front it'll look more official, hopefully. Because I mean, obviously I did my research on this place, and they're legitimate, they're a good place, so we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. Actually, I did get a call back for the last audition I posted about, but I was out of town. You can never go out of town when you're an actor. My boyfriend keeps ranting at me about this because that keeps happening to him. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't go out of town with you because I might get on an audition. I might get booked for work for something to make money, and he just you can't leave LA at this point in our careers, and he's right. Hey guys, sorry, my video had cut off and I was completely out of space earlier before my audition, and I had videos for future YouTube videos that I hadn't uploaded yet, so I couldn't really delete them to make space, so I just had to let it cut off where it did. The audition went pretty well. I'm home now. It's way later. I went in and was wandering because there's 2 offices, and it does still kind of look like a little bit of a residential type situation. It looks like maybe apartment buildings that they rented out and used as an office instead. I don't really know, but as I was wandering, somebody came out and they're like, are you looking for studio talent? Maybe I shouldn't have said the name, I don't know, whatever. And she was like, oh, go wait in this room, they're seeing somebody else right now, but they'll come out when they're done. Then I was waiting for just 2 minutes, and she's like, actually, they might be a while, so you can come over here, and the head of the management company and myself will audition you instead, which is cool that I got to go directly to the higher up source. I did my auditions. The one part where I faltered, I wasn't planning on singing, and then he was like, but you have all of this voice stuff listed on your resume, like voice lessons that I've taken. And it's like, right, but I took those so that I don't suck as much as I do. But he's like, just do a couple bars and it won't be a big deal. And I'm like, okay. But my reason for it was just like, it's not for me, and I feel like maybe that came across badly. But I do think I impressed them with how dedicated I am. They're like, what do you do every day for your career? How are you trying to push yourself forward? And for me, I'm doing as much as is within my power to do right now, financially and physically. Like things as simple as like, I practice French every day. It's not a skill that I can list on my resume yet. Maybe someday it will be. Same thing with yoga. I don't think I'm good enough at yoga yet, even though I've been doing it for over a year, to list it as a real skill. But someday I will be able to, and that's because I'm practicing every day. Reading industry news every day, submitting myself every day, doing my YouTube stuff, honestly, is a really good thing I can talk about. So I did my monologues. I didn't sort of slate them beforehand, or whatever it's called. I didn't say what character was from which show. And I realized, like, in the middle of the second monologue that I probably should have done that, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the most important thing is the performance, and if he really wanted to know where the monologues were from, he could have asked me, but for future, I want to make sure I do that first. I think my performances were okay. I didn't get quite as deep into the dramatic one as I would have hoped, but that always happens. Honestly, I think it's just a matter of practice. Not practice like rehearsal at home, but practice being in front of people and acting, which is a good thing for acting classes and for just having a bunch of auditions that you go to practice. Whether or not you actually want the part or not, you just go to gain experience so that when it comes to a really important production, you're ready. Yeah, so I did my monologues. I sang just the beginning part of the song from my movie, because that's something I've rehearsed over and over and over, and I was able to just pull it out of my back pocket. I hadn't warmed up. I hadn't done anything. I think I sounded okay. And that's the thing. I sounded okay in my audition for the movie A Better Place too. I think it's better for me if I don't have accompaniment, and I don't have to be completely precise. It's more just a general taste. Like, they don't need to know that I can be the lead in a show. They just need to know I can carry a tune, and for some reason I can sing in those situations. I can't sing in the you need to sound like a Broadway star situations, and I probably should look into myself and figure out why that is, because I've had theater auditions that I'm just embarrassed about because I can't sing that way. But whenever it's just, can you sing at all? I'm like, yeah, I can sing a little bit. I'm nothing fancy, but I can sing. But I'm glad that it at least sounded good. And he asked me about myself. He asked me why acting, and I think I might have impressed him with my answer to that. I hope. If not impressed, just I got emotional about it almost, but nothing too dramatic. I started off with like how I initially honestly wanted to be an actor because of Harry Potter. I wanted to be in the Harry Potter movies, and that of course didn't work out, but I started experiencing acting, I started studying it, and I fell in love. And I love that acting is one of the only industries where being an emotional person is a strength, because I am an emotional person. People like to throw that in my face. I cry easily, and I'm made to feel like there's something wrong with me because of that, and it's like, no. And now I've chosen a career where, you know what, this is not, being in touch with your emotions is not a weakness. Being controlled by your emotions maybe, but emotions aren't something to stifle. I think emotions are important, and acting has made me appreciate
my weird emotionalness. So I said something along those lines, and I think that got through. And I made it past the first phase of the audition. There apparently were 2 phases, because then he's like, okay, I'm going to give you some sides, a commercial and a theatrical for a cold read. I don't mind cold reads, honestly. It's where they give you the dialogue and stuff, and you just have a few minutes to look it over, and then you perform. And I'm okay with that. I think I have pretty good instincts, and I'm pretty good at keying into things quickly. He gave me an hour because it was a lot. And it's good because he let me go back to my car, because I only had a 40-minute meter, so I needed to go back to my car at that point and refill it, and then come back about an hour later after I had read through them a few times. The character wasn't something I'm super comfortable with, and that's something that I see as a weakness for myself. I'm great at playing characters just like me. I'm not like Meryl Streep, who is, though. I can't just put on other people's personas that easily. And this was like a woman just ranting and just angry. And they had to do that thing where they have you amp up your performance instead of toning it down. And that's fine as long as you can amp it up. And I'm not sure if I amped it up enough. And sometimes that will be the main thing in people's way as an actor, is they can't amp it up. They play it safe, and they can't figure out how to break out of that. I've seen actors struggle that way, and I don't want to be like that. I want to be able to bring it. And that's just something that I need more acting classes. I need improv classes, I think, will do a lot to help me with that. But I don't think I did bad, certainly. There was a commercial thing that I think I nailed after they gave me some feedback. I think I really took their notes and did it. These other stuff, I think I did decently. So I'm glad that I made it to the second round of cold reads, and they told me to call on Thursday to see what they've decided. That's weird. I'm going to feel so nervous calling on Thursday. Like, normally you either hear from them or you don't for auditions in general, and it's okay if you don't hear from them. It's like, okay, well, that was another audition and more experience. Now I have to actually call in to be rejected. That sucks, but maybe I'll call in to be accepted. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm ultimately going to be fine either way. So, and any advice they can give me for why they choose not to go with me is something I think I need to hear right now, because I don't know what I'm doing wrong right now, and I need to hear some feedback and then work with that. So if it doesn't work out that they want to sign with me, that's okay, but I want to make sure I learned something from the experience. I'm really nervous. Okay, I really am. But we'll see how it goes. Sorry, this has been a really long video. Thanks for sticking with me if you did. It's a nerve-wracking thing, this auditioning and trying to be an actor thing. So we'll see what happens. I'll let you know on Thursday.
Hey guys, Mary Ann here. So I told you guys I was going to call back on Thursday about the manager meeting, right? I call on Thursday at 2 and they tell me, oh, call back later. Everybody's still out to lunch. So I call back 2 hours later when they said I should. The lady, I think, had another appointment, so she was out eating again. So he said he'd have her call me back, and she didn't. And so I wanted to wait. I mean, I don't hold this against them. They have clients, they have other stuff going on. It's a busy time, but I just wanted to give them some space, because I think I really, like, from what I've seen of the group, and I've talked to some other people who've actually heard of them, and they send people out, and that's exciting. So I was really excited about that. So I didn't want to hold that against them, that was a weird, awkward, trying to get hold of them moment. So I waited and I emailed them today. And this is Wednesday of the following week. And said, hey, I'm sure you're busy, but I had called a couple times, never heard anything. So I just thought I'd email. And they emailed me back saying, hey, call to schedule a follow-up. And I was like, oh, okay, I have to like audition again? Or wait, what? So I call, and she's like, oh, well, Phil said he emailed you to say we want to represent you. And I was like, wait, what? Because to me, schedule a follow-up meant another audition. But it wasn't. They want to represent me, and I am very, very excited. Yay. This is good. This is good. I feel good about this. I'm very excited. Yay. Okay. So, anyway, on Friday, I will go do my follow-up. Maybe I'll do another vlog for you guys then, but I think I'll post this beforehand. I think I've been in sort of a downer mood this past week because I felt like maybe this was a sign they didn't want to represent me, but then I was like, but wouldn't it be mean if they had me call in just to tell me they don't want to represent me? So, I don't know. I feel like maybe that was already kind of a given. I just didn't want to get my hopes up. So I'm very excited, and I have to go in and bring my headshot and resume again and go over everything. So, yay. 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 Okay. I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.